So let's have a look at analysis of bubble sort algorithm. So let's understand logic of bubble sort, that how it performs sorting of elements. So consider we have a elements 10, 18, 3, 12, and 6. If we have been given these 5 elements and we want to perform bubble
सर
sort,
आपने स्क्रीन शेयर की है?
nahi, let me to share that. Yeah, is it visible?
Yes, sir.
So let's have a look at analysis of bubble sort algorithm. Consider that we have been given these 5 elements to perform sorting using bubble sort algorithm. Okay. So let's have a look at logic of bubble sort algorithm, how it works. So it start comparing these two consecutive element, and as we have to arrange in ascending order, हमें ascending order में arrange करने हैं, तो जो lowest element है, this is a position 0, position 1, position 2, position 3. Let's start from 1. This is position 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Total 5 elements are there. So if this is array A, then A of 1 should be less than A of 2. जो lowest position पे element है वो less than होना चाहिए. तो if it is A of 1 is less than A of 2, then it's okay. It checks the next pair. So here A of 2 is not less than A of 3. Condition is false. So what it does? It performs the swapping. It performs swapping of this 3 and 18. And remaining element will be as it is. Now we have done the comparison of these two elements. Now comparison will be done here for 18 and 12. So again, it checks that A of 3 is less than A of 4. अगर A of 3 पे एलिमेंट A of 4 से लेस देन है, देन इट्स ओके. अगर नहीं है तो स्वैपिंग करेगा. तो यहां पे 10, 3, 12, 18 and 6. Okay. Again, now comparison of this third and fourth element is finished. Now it checks fourth and fifth element. It checks that A of J is less than A of J plus 1. If this is the case, then no need to perform swapping. But A of J is greater than A of J plus 1, then perform the swapping. Right? So here again, this condition A of J is greater than A of J plus 1. So perform the swapping. 10, 3, 12, 6 and 18. Right? Now all pair of elements are checked. So this is end of pass 1. This is end of pass 1. Pass 1 is finished. Now at the end of pass 1, you can observe this, that at the end of pass 1, bubble sort arrange the highest element at last. See the highest element. This position is fixed now. You can check it out for any elements. So at the end of pass 1, bubble sort arrange the highest element at last if you want to sort element in ascending order. Okay. Now for second pass, we have to repeat same task for these two elements and these two elements and these two elements. Now we don't have to go up to this. So we have to go up to element minus n minus pass, number of pass that we have performed. Okay. Then again we have to repeat same task up to, for now at that time we'll have the second highest element at second last position. Okay. Now again perform pass 3 for this element and again perform pass 4 and so on. Right? So this is the logic of bubble sort algorithm. So now for this logic, let's have a look at algorithm of bubble sort. So I have written bubble sort algorithm. See, these many passes that we need to perform. This for loop indicate that I is equal to 1 to n. That many pass we have to perform, the number of elements that we have. Okay. दिस इज पास 1. अभी जो हमने किया वो पास 1 था. उसके बाद पास 2 होगा और सेकंड लास्ट सेकंड हाईएस्ट एलिमेंट फाइंड करेगा. देन पास 3, थर्ड लास्ट, पास 4. ओके, देन पास 5. नाउ सी फॉर I is equal to 1 to n, this will rotate up to number of element times. Now we'll see the logic of this swap flag later on. Now inner for loop is there. It is just to check this condition that two consecutive elements are in proper position or not. So here inner for loop is that j is equal to 1 to n minus I, where I indicate the number of passes. So initially we have to go up to n minus 1. So n minus 1. So 1 से लेके 4 तक ही जाएंगे because 4, why we should go for 4? n minus 1. n minus 1 4 तक ही जाएंगे because there is a j plus 1. If value of j is 4 and here j plus 1 will be 5. If j is 5, then we'll have a 6. But at 6th position, we don't have any element. So we should write up to j plus 1. And we should go up to n minus I. It means one element less than this list. So up to 4. J value of j should be up to 4. It should not go up to 5. So here j go up to 4. And inside that we are checking this condition. If a of j is greater than, not equal to, if a of j is greater than a of j plus 1, then a of j is greater than a of j plus 1, then perform swapping of a of j and a of j plus 1. That is what just we have done. A of j, this a of j is greater than a of j plus 1, perform the swapping. Okay. Then once we come out of this for loop, go for the next pass. Okay. Let's have a look at the logic of this swap flag. What is the logic of swap flag? Assume that we have been given sorted elements. We have 10, 20, and 30. So 1, 2, 3. This is the position of elements. Now, according to this, I is equal to 1. For I is equal to 1, swap flag will be false. False in the sense it will be 0. So now take inner loop that range from j is equal to 1 to n minus I. So 1 to, it range from 1 to n minus I means it will go up to 2, 1 to 2. And it checks here that a of j is greater than a of j plus 1. A of j is initially a of it will check a of 1 and a of 2. Is it greater than a of 2? Here condition is false. Condition is not satisfied. So it won't go inside this if condition. It rotates inner for loop and increment the value of j. Now value of j become 2 and it checks next condition that a of 2 is greater than a of 3. No, this condition is also false. So again it won't go inside this for loop, inside this if condition. So if condition is false, it come out of this if condition and it rotate this inner for loop and value of j will be incremented. Now j will become 3, but it won't go inside for loop because it should rotate up to 2 because n minus I. We have 3 elements and -1, so up to 2. So for 3, condition is false and it come out of this for loop. Now as it haven't gone to this if condition, it means this swap flag is not modified. Initially, before entering to this for loop, it was false. Now it is not modified because no swapping is performed in this inner for loop. In the first pass, no swapping is performed, and hence no swapping is performed. We can say that data are already sorted, and we can detect that data are sorted based on this flag condition because flag was initially false. And here you can check that if flag is false, yes, then no need to repeat next pass. Return from the function because data are already sorted. So this is early detection of sorted elements. So within a first pass, we can detect that data are sorted. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Now again, let's have a look at this outer for loop. It rotates from up to 1 to n. Is it required to rotate up to 1 to n, or it should be 1 to n minus 1? See the number of passes, how many number of passes we need to perform. First pass will arrange the highest element at last. Second pass will arrange the second last. Third pass will be third last. Fourth pass will be fourth last. If you arrange fourth last element, then last element will be automatically sorted. But see, if you write up to 1 to n, it means if I is n, then let's check it out here. N minus n, it's 0. So it won't go inside for loop and it has to come out of this for loop. So even it's a useless. So even you may write n minus 1. Okay. Number of passes should be n minus 1. So even if you can write n minus 1. But let's analyze this bubble sort algorithm. And using tabular method, we want to find out the time complexity. Now, let's have a look at best case and worst case analysis. Now, whenever we have a if condition, we can always look for the best case and worst case. It means if condition is executed in this case, then it has to execute this many extra statement. Then that will be the worst case, because the case in which algorithm has to execute extra statement, that is considered as a worst case. So which will be the best case here? The case in which algorithm don't have to execute these many statement, because these are the statement where we have a choice that whether they will be executed or not executed. यहाँ पे कुछ ऐसा हो सकता है कि वो एग्जीक्यूट हो सकती है या नहीं हो सकती, बाकी सारे स्टेटमेंट तो नॉर्मल स्टेटमेंट तो वो तो एग्जीक्यूट होने ही वाले, लेकिन यहाँ पे इफ कंडीशन है तो यहाँ पे हमें चॉइस मिल सकती है कि स्टेटमेंट शायद एग्जीक्यूट ना हो. तो कब एग्जीक्यूट ना हो? कि ये कंडीशन जब फॉल्स होगी तो ये स्टेटमेंट एग्जीक्यूट नहीं होंगे, तो वो इस एल्गोरिथम का बेस्ट केस होगा. तो कौन से इनपुट के लिए कंडीशन ऑलवेज फॉल्स होगी? अभी जो हमने देखा वो
सर ऑलरेडी
पूरा सॉर्टेड है.
या अगर पूरा अरे सॉर्टेड होगा तो ये कंडीशन ऑलवेज फॉल्स होगी. ई ऑफ जे पे ग्रेटर देन एलिमेंट नहीं होगा ई ऑफ जे प्लस 1 से. दैट मींस असेंडिंग ऑर्डर में सॉर्टेड डेटा दिया है और हमें यहाँ पे इस एल्गोरिथम में असेंडिंग ऑर्डर में ही अरेंज करना है. तो ये जो यहाँ पे इफ कंडीशन के जो स्टेटमेंट है वो एग्जीक्यूट नहीं होंगे और एल्गोरिथम को कम स्टेटमेंट एग्जीक्यूट करने पड़ेंगे उस केस में. सो वो बेस्ट केस होगा. तो यहाँ पे हमें पता चल गया कि अगर हम सॉर्टेड डेटा देंगे तो वो एल्गोरिथम का बेस्ट केस होगा. ओके. अगर हम डिसेंडिंग ऑर्डर सॉर्टेड डेटा देंगे तो हर एक केस में कंडीशन ट्रू होगी और उसको एग्जीक्यूट करने होंगे ये सारे स्टेटमेंट, तो ये उसका वर्स्ट केस होगा, डिसेंडिंग ऑर्डर सॉर्टेड डेटा. तो यहाँ पे हम मान रहे हैं कि assume that we are analyzing this algorithm for best case data. So in that case, let's fill up this table. We are going to use this tabular method for the analysis. So I have written I have prepared this table where we have the statement number of these algorithms, steps per execution, frequency of execution of particular statement, and total number of statement. So in base case, let's say we are doing this base case analysis. Case, how many times statement 1 will be executed?
One time.
One time, because as we have done analysis on sorted data, there will be only one pass. So the outer for loop will be executed only single time. So when I become 1, this for loop, inner for loop will detect the data already sorted, and from this it returns. Okay. So statement number 1 will be executed single time. Statement number 2 will also get executed single time. Statement number 3. How many times statement 3 will be executed? So statement 3 is j is equal to 1 to n minus 1, because I is 1. So 1 to n minus 1. So how many time it executes? How many time this statement will be executed?
N times.
It is 1 to n minus 1.
N time.
So up to 1 to n minus 1, it go inside this for loop, and for last condition, it just check the condition. Okay. So it executes n times. Now fourth statement, if condition. So if condition will be executed, it is going to execute all the times. Either it is true or it is false. Execute तो होगी ही. तो फोर्थ स्टेटमेंट वो फॉर लूप के इनसाइड है, तो ऊपर के फॉर लूप से एक कम, तो कितनी बार एग्जीक्यूट होगा? n-1 टाइम. Now the fifth and sixth statement, as we are executing this for base case, we assume that this if condition is always false, and that's why fifth and sixth statement will be executed 0 times. They won't be executed. Okay. Now the seventh statement, वो सिंगल टाइम एग्जीक्यूट होगा एंड रिटर्न सिंगल टाइम एग्जीक्यूट होगा. सो टोटल s by e into frequency, this remain as it is. Now we can write down the total number of steps executed by this bubble sort algorithm on base case, on sorted data, you may say, in terms of fn, where n is the number of input. So how many n? 2n are there. 2n plus 1, 2, 3. 2n plus 3. This is the growth rate of this algorithm. And if you want to assign BGO notation to this function, what will be the BGO?
Big O.
Omega will also be n. And theta notation will also be n. So the base case time complexity of bubble sort algorithm is theta of n. And on what kind of input it will have the base case? On ascending orders, on same order data. You can say, particularly you can say that in ascending order, if you want to arrange in ascending order, then ascending order data will be the base case. कि जिस ऑर्डर में आपको सॉर्ट करना है वो सेम ऑर्डर के डेटा होंगे, तभी उसका बेस केस करोगा. Right? So this is base case analysis of this algorithm. Now similarly, let's have a look at worst case analysis of this bubble sort algorithm. So let's have a look at that worst case analysis. So when do we have the worst case? That we already discussed about that. When we want to arrange data in ascending order and the data are in descending order, in that case we'll have the worst case. So how can we detect that this is the worst case? Because see, here we need to look at if condition. This if condition will get executed all the time if a of j is greater than a of j plus 1. मीन्स लोअर पोजीशन पे ग्रेटर एलिमेंट है और उसके नेक्स्ट पोजीशन पे स्मॉलर एलिमेंट है. इट मीन्स डिसेंडिंग ऑर्डर सॉर्टेड डेटा होंगे तभी इसमें ये इफ कंडीशन सही होगी और ये सारे स्टेटमेंट उसको एग्जीक्यूट करने पड़ेंगे. सो दैट विल बी द वर्स्ट केस ऑफ दिस एल्गोरिथम, राइट? So let's have a look at analysis of this algorithm in worst case. So how many times this first statement will be executed in worst case? It is rotating 1 to n. So what will be the frequency of that statement?
N.
N plus 1 sir.
N plus 1, not n. N time it rotates the body, but last time it checks the condition and it terminates the loop. Okay, now inner swap flag, it executes n times, right? Now third statement, how many times it executes? See, it depends on outer for loop, so let's analyze that. For I is equal to 1, it has a value j range from 1 to n minus 1. So total it execute how many times? N times. Am I right? Now for I is equal to 2, j will range from 1 to
n minus 2.
n minus 2. That means n minus 1 times. So now we can find out this trend, that what can be the last value of I that go inside this for loop. That can be n. When I is n, j is 1 to n minus n, that is 0. So 1 to 0 condition is directly false and it execute only single time, right? So total steps are 1 plus 2 plus this n minus 1 plus n. These are the total steps. So what is the equation? So 1 to n.
N into N plus 1.
N into n plus 1 divided by 2. So this is frequency of execution of this for loop, third statement. So you can write down that n into n plus 1 divided by 2. Right? Now the fourth statement, if condition. So that will be executed every time whenever control goes to this inner for loop, and as that is the inside inner for loop. So we can directly say that one less will be there correspond to this outer for loop. It execute one less time correspond to this outer for loop, this third statement. Okay, and we have the analysis of third statement. So just subtract 1 from each iteration, n minus 1, n minus 2, n minus 3 up to what will be the last condition? At this stage it has a 1. So 1 to n minus 1. So what is the condition? See, for this it is the last number into next number, n into n plus 1 divided by 2. Similarly for this last number is n minus 1, and the next number is n into n divided by 2. This will be there. So this will come here at the analysis of fourth statement. Now fifth statement, we know that we are looking for worst case analysis, so that we have to assume that this condition is always true, and hence it has to execute fifth statement as well. So in fifth statement, we'll have the same as this fourth statement. In sixth statement, we'll have the same as the fourth statement. Okay, now seventh statement. Seventh statement is inside outer for loop. So the steps count will be same as step number 2. So n. And for eighth statement, it won't be executed. Or at last iteration, if it is executed, then it will be 1, and in that case we have to subtract 1 from outer for loop. Okay, so here this is the worst case analysis of this algorithm. Total will be, as s by is 1, so total will be same as frequency. You can find out sum of this. It is n plus 1 plus n into, see, this is n square plus n divided by 2, right? Similarly here this is n square minus n divided by 2. Okay, you need to make sum of all these statements. And finally, you have to derive the equation. So, can you tell me what can be the steps count equation? See, I have that analysis. Tell me the final equation. Here, see, you can note it down that we have n squared component. Okay, so we'll have this kind of equation: C1 n square plus C2n plus C3. This kind of equation will be there. Are you agree with me that as we have n square component, did you get this?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
So now what is the complexity? If we want to assign theta notation to this function, what will be the theta notation? It is the highest order of this equation, that is n square. So the worst case time complexity of bubble sort is n square. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Any doubt